I get you staring at the tile plans for your bathroom remodel, and the idea of picking a shower base feels like stepping into a minefield. You've probably Googled best shower base a dozen times, watched a few how-to videos, and now you're wondering whether you should splurge on something heavy-duty or stick with a cheap acrylic slab that might crack under the weight of daily use. The fear of spending a few $100s on a base that leaks, feels slippery, or just doesn't line up with your alcove is real, and it's why I wanted to break down the KOHLER 90530 Salient 60-inch 30 Alcove cast iron shower base before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Salient isn't a one-size-fits-all plastic pan you see in most big box stores. It's a 60 by 30-inch rectangle made from solid cast iron, finished in a slip-resistant white enamel. The size alone puts it in the spacious category, enough room to comfortably move around, even if you have a taller shower head or a handheld sprayer. That extra square footage matters when you're trying to fit a bench, a low-profile shelf, or just want the luxury of not feeling cramped every morning. Installation is where the practical side really shows up. The Salient comes with 3 T-line flanges, which means you can tile right up to the edges without having to cut a lot of material. For an alcove setup, think a 3-wall enclosure. The left-hand drain aligns neatly with standard plumbing placements in most homes built after the early 2000s. If your current drain is already on the left, you won't need to reroute any pipe, saving you a few hours of labor and a chunk of the budget. The single threshold design also eliminates that little lip you sometimes see on other bases, so the transition from tile to the pan feels seamless and reduces the chance of water pooling on the floor outside the shower. Now, let's talk about the heavy metal aspect. Cast iron isn't light, and that can be a double-edged sword. On the plus side, the mass of the Salient essentially locks the base in place. It won't flex or shift under the weight of a standing adult, even if you're leaning on a built-in bench. That rigidity translates to fewer cracks over time, which is something you rarely get with thin acrylic or fiberglass models. On the downside, the weight makes handling the unit a bit of a chore. If you're a DI first-timer, you'll need at least 2 strong people to maneuver the 120-plus-pound slab into the alcove, and you'll probably want a dolly or some sturdy moving blankets. It's not impossible, but it's something to factor into your project plan. One of the biggest selling points for many buyers is safety, and the slip-resistant finish isn't just marketing fluff. In the real world, the enamel texture holds up well after months of daily showers, even if you have a tiled floor that gets slick when wet. I've seen homeowners with kids and seniors alike appreciate that extra grip, especially when the bathroom can get steamy and the floor gets a bit moist around the base. The white enamel also stays bright longer. It won't yellow like some acrylic pans do after a few years of exposure to hard water. So, who should really consider the KOHLER Salient? If you're renovating a primary bathroom and want a shower that feels solid, looks clean, and can handle a little extra accessories like a bench, a niche, or a handheld shower, it's a great match. It also makes sense for households with older adults or young children where slip resistance is a priority. The cast iron construction is a good investment if you plan to stay in the home for several years. The durability offsets the upfront cost because you won't be replacing the base after a decade or 2. Conversely, if you're working with a tight budget, have a very small bathroom where a 60 by 30-inch footprint feels too large, or you're a solo DIYer without a helper, you might want to look elsewhere. The weight alone can add to labor costs if you end up hiring a plumber or a contractor just to get the unit in place. Also, if you already have a right-hand drain, you'd need to reroute plumbing, which negates the simplicity that the left drain layout promises. In those scenarios, a lightweight acrylic or fiberglass base, though less robust, could be a more practical choice. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of daily usability. Imagine you're stepping out of a hot shower after a long run. The cool, smooth surface of the enamel is pleasant under your feet, and the slip-resistant texture gives you confidence as you reach for your towel. Because the base is solid, there's no flex when you lean on the wall or shift weight, no weird wobble that can be unsettling. When you're cleaning, you'll appreciate that the enamel takes most bathroom cleaners without staining. A mild bleach solution or a vinegar water mix works fine. There's no need for special non-abrasive products that